am back on trail after a nice stay in Salida. Even though it's been windy and cold up on the ridgeline, it sure has been beautiful. And I've passed by several little lakes today, and I'm just actually really enjoying myself. A lot of times when I'm fresh out of town and my pack is extra heavy from resupply, I'm just like, you know, I still want to be in town, taking a zero, relaxing. But today has been so pretty, I hadn't even minded the climbs. Wee. Not that far down, but still don't want to fall. As beautiful as today was, it was rough. Just the wind was crazy. I mean, at some points it was like pushing me around, and the rocks, like the terrain, there were a lot of rocks. So I didn't get as many miles as I'd hoped. I'd hoped for like 21. I ended up with 19. It's on these cold days that I'm so glad I have a stove, because when the wind chills you to the bone, I mean, you can lay in your sleeping bag and eat something and try to warm up, but just being able to have something hot to drink and something hot to eat. I wish that I could do without it and save the weight, but I don't know that I'll ever officially be stoveless. I don't think so. I messaged Aaron on the InReach at like 5 something this afternoon and asked him if he had left town yet, and he said he had not. He was still trying to get out today though, so hopefully he'll catch me by Twin Lakes. Not sure now if he'll catch me in this stretch or not, but hopefully by the next town. Well, it is morning time and the wind is already whipping pretty strong outside my tent. So this is where rain gear can be more than just rain gear. It can be wind gear too. And I could just wear my warmer pajama clothes, but I'm gonna be going on some uphills and I don't really like to sweat and get those all grody. And it's not that it's really cold outside, it's just the wind it'll just catch you. So yeah, it's going to be another day of fighting the wind, I think. But there's an alternate Mirror Lake, which I think is a little bit lower. It's the same distance as the normal CDT. And actually, it used to be the CDT. And Mirror Lake sounds kind of cool. So I think I'll take that alternate in hopes of being a little bit lower and escaping some of this wind. Fields of downed trees. And here is Mirror Lake, which is, you know, very similar to other lakes I've seen. However, check out those dark clouds. So I'm pretty glad with my decision to take the lower route today. Up on a ridgeline is not necessarily where I want to be when those are above me. You know, although I'm on a lower route, quote unquote, I'm still about to climb to like 12,000 feet. So I guess that'll help me get a little pep in my step to get up and over that, so I don't get caught up there in a storm. But these black clouds are not comforting at all. And just to be clear, while of course I don't love getting rained on, although I smell better probably after I get rained on, it's the lightning. that concerns me. So if you're on a big open area and you're like the highest thing on a ridge, then you're a pretty open invitation for lightning to strike you. So that's my concern with being up on the ridge, black clouds rolling in. Just got up and over that peak, and luckily all the dark clouds have cleared up. You're just saying the same thing over and over. Well, it's a little after 8 o'clock, like 8:02 or something. And I'm pushing myself one more mile. Actually, probably like 1.3 or something. I don't know. I tend to get out of camp late, so I always push myself right until not quite dark, but close. And when I feel like stopping, I'm always like, one more mile. I can always do one more mile. I see the moon. This spot is home sweet home for the night. It's always soft up on some pine needles. Apparently there is some kind of construction work going on outside of my tent. It's a great alarm. I think they're doing work on the dirt road or something. Rats, a porta potty. About 10 minutes too late. I think with going up and over these steeper climbs that the hiker hunger is really starting to kick in. And so I've been getting kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips pretty much every resupply, but I try not to get the same thing, any one thing, over and over on a resupply because I just don't want to make myself sick of it. But like yesterday while I was hiking, I just had to stop and eat some of those salt and vinegar chips. I wasn't even really that hungry. It's just that I just wanted them. I was craving them. And I finished them last night while I was waiting for my dinner to cook. And they're gone. Anyway, I'm going to be in town tomorrow, but I don't know that they'll have kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips in this small town of Twin Lakes. But man, I'm craving them. Like, I was just walking right now and just thinking of kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips. Hiker hunger can be, I assume, what like pregnancy cravings can be. And I'm not trying to tell y'all nothing. They ain't none of that. But I'm just saying that I think I would pay $10 right now just for a small Ziploc baggie of kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips. Tell me that doesn't look like a miniature pineapple. That is so cool. It's tiny. Ooh-wee. Ooh, ooh. That will wake you up. Just look how clear and pretty this water is. I wish I had noticed the paper was still in the cheese before I bit into it. Oh well. I've been listening to these audiobooks and podcasts and stuff like that, and something that was mentioned in one of them yesterday kind of stuck with me. And the guy said that in life there are the wishers and there are the willers. And generally, when you look at a successful person, that person is a willer. So it kind of reminds me of when I was little, a real little girl, like first grade. And my mom told me something that has stuck with me
since that day. And she said, you know, there are two types of people in this world, honey. There are leaders and there are followers. And you have to pick which one you want to be in life. And I just remember thinking, no, I don't want to be a follower. You know, I want to do what I want to do and what I think is right. I guess, you know, if you find yourself in life, and I've found myself in that position before, going along the path that somebody else has created for you, and maybe that's not really the path that you want to be on, and you find yourself wishing for things but never really like willing them and never putting action into those wishes and making it happen, then maybe it's time to kind of sit down and reevaluate things and change that if you want to. But at that moment, my mom kind of made it clear to me that you don't necessarily get things handed on a silver platter. I mean, some people do, but my life certainly wasn't going to be like that. And you know, if you want something, you got to go out and you got to get it. And I think she did a pretty good job of raising a litter of willers. But you know, it's something that you have to remind yourself, because sometimes the easiest path in life is being a wisher. And you know, if you're going to be a willer, there's going to be some struggle and there's going to be some challenging times, but there's going to be that anyway. So you might as well go and get what you want. And now I'm going to go will myself up this pass. I am on my last big climb of the day, like noticeably big climb, and I've got about 1.6 miles to the top. Not that I'm counting every 10th of a mile or anything, but this is Lake Ann Pass, and according to gut hooks in the comments and Colorado trail hikers that are heading southbound, it's got some significant-ish snow on it still. As far as I know, this is the last sketchy-ish snow, at least for the next couple of stretches. And I assume north of there will be melted. But anyway, so I'm ready to get up and over this today. And the rest of the day should be pretty much downhill, which I love. And I assume right in that area is Lake Ann Pass, where I'll have to go over, because I see the trails switching back up there. Only 5 more switchbacks. It's about 1/10 of a mile to the saddle, but if you look right there, you can see some snow. I think that's the part of the cornice on the other side. Whew, almost there. Wow. Okay, they said stay to the right. Ooh. So I thought maybe I should go up there and then try to find a way around the snow, but stepping over here a little bit further, I can see I can probably get down there and they're like, oh my gosh, y'all. Look what just came up over that little ridge. Holy go-to-moly. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's a third. So back to my analysis, I was saying I should probably step down that way, because if I fall, at least I'm kind of on loose rock that looks like it won't slide forever. But there's the trail down there, so you can see here where I don't want to step over the edge of this. That's the cornice, so that's going to be unstable right on the edge, and
I'll fall off before I get a good step in, probably, knowing me. And in doing all of this, not get attacked by a mountain goat. That was so cool that I got to see some. Ooh. Okay. I probably shouldn't be demonstrating this while I'm walking, but this is why I hate scree. You can see how loose it is, and then when I step here and all these rocks move, which are attached to this big old clump of snow above me. So, a little bit stressful. That's why I'd rather walk on snow than rock, because on this mess, there ain't no stableness. Oh. Oh. Only I could be a mountain goat. I feel like this is one of those. Ooh, I feel like this is one of those video games where the ground it falls beneath your feet and you gotta step fast enough before it falls. Okay. Alright. Alright, so that's where I just came down, that little cut right there. Doesn't look so bad, does it? You know, I've been mildly anticipating this pass for at least a couple of days since I heard about it. You know, I find so often that lessons on the trail kind of parallel lessons that really relate to life in general. And one of those things that I've realized on trail is that the more challenging something is, then the more rewarding usually it is. So there's some situation that you got to get through and it's just not quite that simple, then usually on the other side of it, it's great, you know, it's something to celebrate. And it's the same on trail. So I knew this is going to be a really steep, kind of long climb, and that there was snow waiting for me at the top, and then it might be a little tricky to get around that. And so there was some build up to that, even though, you know, it wasn't really that bad or anything. But it's just like right now I'm like, oh, I'm on cloud nine. Like that was the hardest thing that I had to do today. And although the climbing never gets easy, it's just, if the trail was always flat, then there would be no summits, there would be no beautiful views, so there would be no little victories, and it just wouldn't be the same. And the same is true in life. You know, we go through hard times and we go through really challenging times, but it's just so much more rewarding getting over the other side. So you just gotta embrace the challenges and the hardships and know that really they make life interesting, and that a lot of times there's going to be something pretty sweet on the other side.